Hey everybody, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Career Mode with me, REinstein. I hope you're all doing really well. Today we're going to be covering something that some of you may be having difficulties with, and others, hopefully you're just going to enjoy watching it as I make this hybrid tutorial video. What we're going to be doing is rescuing a Kerbal from orbit. Now, the reason being is I need a scientist for an epic mission where I'm going to launch like the Trump Tower, much bigger than the moon tower that I built, and it's going to be going to Minmus to build an outpost research station on Minmus, but I don't have any spare Kerbals and any spare scientists, and there aren't any I can recruit just now. They're having a shortage in the universities, apparently, of, astronaut people. So anyway, what I wanted to explain to you was what I'm doing here. So basically, in order to get an encounter, or to get close enough to rescue this person, you need to do a maneuver that gets you a certain separation from them. So you can see here, if I start off from the very beginning, so my periapsis is just under 120,000 meters, and my apoapsis is 126,000 meters. That's my apoapsis of my ship that I'm flying to rescue this Kerbal. Now, this Kerbal is stuck here, and its apoapsis is 85,000 meters, with a periapsis of 83,000 meters. Now that means that he's going around the Earth, he's closer to the Earth than I am. So essentially what I should be doing is, because I've got further to travel, he'll be catching me up gradually, and all I need to do is slow down at a certain point. So what I've done is set up a maneuver node, which is 26 minutes time, and then we need to start burning towards that maneuver node, and that will give us a separation of approximately 1 kilometer, providing I do the burn perfectly, which is easily enough to get within range to save this Kerbal. Now, this is a very similar principle to docking, so if you haven't troubles with docking, then please continue to watch. Essentially, I'll be burning retrograde to kill my target velocity, and burning towards the target repeatedly in order to get sort of within, I don't know, 100 meters, something like that. So here we go. If we start our burn now, we need to burn 36 point something meters per second in order to get this encounter. So we're nearly there. There we go. So let's see how close that has got us now. So if we take a little look at these orangey red icons here, we can see that we're going to have a separation of 1.4 kilometers. But that's not for a while yet. So let's fast forward and we'll see how this goes. So remember, we're going to need to kill our velocity relative to the target. That means make it as close to 0 as possible so that we get an encounter. So there's Tom Nard and there's me. So if I go to this other view, we should be able to see him somewhere near us. He should be below us somewhere. There he is. There's Tom Nard over there. So if I continue to fast forward, that should get, at the closest, about 1.4 kilometers away. But we're still going 43.7 kilometers meters per second. There's still that difference in speed between us. So we need to kill that relative velocity, as we just said. The way to do that is to point retrograde, which is the little green marker with the cross in the middle, on our nav ball down here. So let's get that there, and then we want to burn. So let's burn, and you can see our speed relative to the target is decreasing. Now once that gets closer to 0, then we can start burning towards the target again. So let's just do that a little bit more. And our rocket's a little bit cumbersome right now, so I'm actually going to jettison this part. I don't need it, so I'm not going to worry too much. Let's start burning. So if we point towards the pink icon down here, you can see we're now burning towards the target, and our distance relative to the target is decreasing. So it's dropped from 1.4, and if I speed up even more, it should go to 1.2. Alright, but that means we're going really fast towards the target at 40 meters per second now. So that's way too fast, but it might get us right next door to it. So we're within 100 meters now, and we're going way too fast. So you don't really want to be doing it this quickly normally. But I've done it quite a few times, so I know what I'm doing. It's all good. I still mess up occasionally, but you know. So there we go. We're at nearly at equal velocity to our target. But I still think we're a little bit far away. And so I'm going to turn my nose towards the pink icon on the nav ball there, and just burn a little bit So we're nearly at 1 meters per second again, and so that will be propelling us towards it at 1 meters per second. So it'll take about 48 seconds for us to hit it, and obviously we don't want to hit it. So once we get a little bit closer, we will kill our relative velocity again. So that's at 0 now. Now, if I switch to the other rocket, if I can, there we go. That's where Tom Nard is. So Tom Nard's stuck inside there, and there's the rocket that we're rescuing him in, parked right next to it. So it's pretty damn sweet. So, can we do a little crew report while we're here? No, we can't. Alright, so let's EVA him. And we'll send him on a little space walk. I'm sure he'll enjoy stretching his space legs. Okie dokie. Alright, now you want to keep a little bit of control. And not go too fast like I am. Alright, now the door should be up here somewhere. There it is. I can just about make out the ladder. Now, it's not perfect rendezvousing in the dark, but we've done it anyway, and our Kerbal is now on board the rescue craft. So, in order to return to Kerbal, we need to choose a landing spot. Now, in order to choose a landing spot, the best thing is to land on the light side of the planet, because otherwise you can't really see where you're going to be landing. So, let's set a maneuver there, and we want to pull this retrograde marker down so that the periapsis drops below about 35,000 meters, something like that, and then you'll be captured in the atmosphere and hopefully be going slow enough so that you don't burn up in the atmosphere. So in 7 minutes time, we need to do our burn for about 3 seconds, and that will drop us low enough to begin plummeting into the Kerbin atmosphere. So let's do that. We're at 3 seconds nearly. Boom. Oh dear. Went a bit fast for my liking. There we go. So let's take a look at our new periapsis that we've got now. Hold on, let's unset that as a target. Where has it gone? Oh, never mind, doesn't really matter. So our periapsis is 33,000 meters, so we fly around the surface and we watch the sun come up over the horizon. Look at that beautiful glow. And now you can see our periapsis has dropped below 70,000 meters, and we got captured in the very thin atmosphere, which is up here. Now, obviously, the atmosphere of Kerbin starts at 70,000 meters up. Now, I'm slightly worried that we're using too much, or we're going too fast here. So, what I might do... No, let's just fast forward and see how this goes. Because we're going to need to jettison this part of our rocket in order to deploy... or in order to make use of our heat shield, which has an ablator of 40. Now you can control how much that has back in the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building. I've just put it at 40. I find 40 is a good number to land, and it reduces the weight of your vehicle, therefore increasing your delta V. So let's continue to plummet down to the surface, and in order to hopefully not get anything burnt up during the descent, you want to point your rocket, look at the nav ball down there, you want to point your rocket so it's facing retrograde. So basically the heat shield is facing retrograde, and if there was a rocket engine there, you'd burn retrograde. That's the same thing. And so that will take the brunt of the heating up effect of when you're coming through the atmosphere. So let's just see that in action. Here we go. Down we come. I'm slightly worried that the heat shield's not big enough, but it should be fine. So you can see the ablator is taking away some of the heat. Let's just slow that down so we can keep pointing right over that little retrograde marker, because there is a slight concern that our parachutes could burn up upon re-entry. Now look at that. It's a nice steady re-entry, and you can see our orbital velocity, or our surface velocity, is changing or decreasing, which is what we want. That's as we go through the atmosphere and it gets thicker and thicker, it will slow us down even more, hopefully to a speed where we can deploy our parachutes. Alright, let's make sure we continue to face retrograde. Now, what you can do sometimes is speed up the engine too much, which is what I sometimes do. And what that does is it means your rocket's not perfectly pointing retrograde, so stray parts of heat that heat up the sides of your rocket can hit different parts and blow bits up, and that's not cool, man. That is not cool. That's how you mess up. So, but I am speeding up again here, just keeping an eye on the nav ball, making sure I'm pointing retrograde nicely. So you should be able to hear a slight sound of the wind whizzing past. Let's go inside our rocket now and see what it looks like for our Kerbin. Whoa. Graphical effects are awesome. I like this over here where it says software glitch update before flight. Don't forget. I bet someone forgot. Alright, so our speed is reducing significantly now. We're down to about 1800 meters per second. And what is our altitude? Our altitude above the terrain, 30,000 meters roughly. Brilliant. So we're slowing down nicely. The lower down we get, the thicker the atmosphere becomes, and the greater the amount of resistance placed against our capsule, which slows us down even more. Perfect. Now all we got to hope for now is that we have enough parachutes to land this. Now 2 of these side, what are they? Mark II-R radial mount parachutes should be enough. Now we've got through the heating effects, so we don't need to worry about which way we're facing really, but the thing you want to make sure of now is that you're going at a slow enough speed to deploy your parachutes. And also, I find the best thing to do is to land over the water. Now, there is a little trick you can do. If you find that you're going to land too high up, so let's say your parachutes deploy at 1,000 meters, and you're going to be landing on some terrain which is 2,000 meters up, all you have to do is right-click your parachutes, and you can change the altitude. So if I do that right here, I can change it to like 5,000 meters. For that one, and 5,000 meters for that one. Now what that will mean is once we drop below 5,000 meters altitude, they will become fully deployed like that, and it's going to take forever to land. But I think we can agree that Tom Nard Kerbin is now safely back down to the surface. We're going slow enough to land safely, and with that I will bid you farewell. It means we now have a Kerbal who is able to go into our mighty outpost that will land on Mimbus. Now I'm going to give you a sneak preview of that in a second. So as promised, here is our Kerbal coming into land. Tom Nard is touchdown. Good job, my friend. Can we do a crew report here? No, we cannot. What about a little EVA? Can you get me some science here, my friend? No, you cannot. Alright, we'll get back in there and we will now recover our vessel, meaning Tom Nard has been added to our roster of Kerbinals available. Now, just before I finish up the video, I wanted to show you the ship that will form our huge Minmus outpost. Let's take a little look here. I tell you, it is massive. Stay tuned for this. Minmus outpost. Where are we? There it is. Okay, so it's going to cost 165,466, and the part that will be landing will be that. I think you'll agree that is a step up in skyscraper technology compared to our moon outpost, and hopefully all will be well. Let me just show you in here. We've got our service bay. Inside the service bay, we did our little trick of carrying our, let's just open that up, carrying the Science Junior. We've got some mystery goo, some batteries, and around the back here, we've got all our other scientific instruments. There we go. Hopefully that's been a good video, guys, and you've enjoyed it. You've learned something. If you have, please leave me your thoughts and comments, and click that like button. Thank you ever so much for watching. Also, if anyone wants to support me on Patreon, please feel free from as little as $1 a month. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.